A cancer-stricken detective who testified alongside Jon Stewart last week in support of fully funding that September 11th Victim Compensation Fund has entered hospice care. Luis Alvarez posted on Facebook yesterday that there is, quote, nothing else doctors can do to fight the cancer. Alvarez, who has liver cancer as a result of his work at the World Trade Center, told a House Judiciary Subcommittee last week that he would undergo his 69th round of chemotherapy the day after his testimony. He also took the opportunity to remind Congress about promises they made to those most impacted by the 9/11 attacks.
This fund is not a ticket to paradise. It is there to provide for our families when we can't. Nothing more. You all said you would never forget. Well, I'm here to make sure that you don't.
So despite the serious setback, Alvarez promised to keep fighting until the end. He wrote, quote, I will try to do a few more interviews to keep a light on our fight for the VCF benefits we all justly deserve. And it is unbelievable that this man, while fighting for his life, also has to fight just for the basic care that should not be in question.
That's the point that Jon Stewart made. It's really sad to see.
So we have a quick update here on a story that we brought you yesterday. So the Washington Press Corps' winning streak over the congressional lawmakers softball team continued last night. 10-3 blowout, giving the Press a W for the fourth year in a row. Soccer's very excited. With 2020 presidential hopeful Senator Kirsten Gillibrand on the mound, the congressional squad got off to a strong start, despite home runs from Senators Joni Ernst and Kirsten Sinema and another from Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. The legislators couldn't hold on. For those who can't get enough of watching lawmakers playing sports, you won't have to wait long for your next opportunity. The annual congressional baseball game between Republicans and Democrats is going to take place next Wednesday, June 26th at Nationals Park. I believe the Democrats have a pretty strong winning record on that one, too.
Great to see the press put the politicians in their place.
That's right.
As we're supposed to. What's worse than a coworker stealing your sandwich from the office fridge? It's being shamed for using white bread. Amanda Mull, one of my favorite culture writers, details the harmful effects of food shaming in a piece published by The Atlantic on Wednesday. Citing numerous remarks from former coworkers and bosses, Mull explores how water cooler talk can force us into uncomfortable conversations about our bodies. Norms around health and wellness create a culture that can shame larger individuals and encourage eating disorders. Many people recovering from eating disorders reported that their weight loss was widely encouraged at first, which reinforced their behavior. But anorexia is the most fatal psychiatric disorders for Americans, with a mortality rate of about 10%, and the number of people struggling with the eating disorders that don't fit the full diagnostic criteria is 75% for American women, according to a 2008 study. Mull also notes that so-called workplace wellness programs, many of which are subsidized by the Affordable Care Act, can also discourage or encourage dangerous dietary behavior. I totally wish what she means. You know, somebody in the office goes on a diet and then they start commenting on everybody's food and like, oh, you should try this. I've been guilty of this. You know, but I've seen it in practice, and I thought that she highlighted that, which was something interesting.
See, yeah. I feel like in this office place, we celebrate eating a lot.
In this office,
we talk a lot about food, not healthy food, like really delicious.
That's true.
Caloric food in this particular work environment, which I personally support.
Well, for everybody else out there who's suffering, we're here for you, and so is Amanda.
Tomorrow on Rising, despite more states legalizing cannabis, banks have not yet adapted to the growing marijuana business sector. Congressman Ed Perlmutter and Steve Stivers are going to discuss their legislation aimed at changing that.
And Team Rising will be in the House. We will have a huge surprise coming tomorrow.
Yes. You want to definitely show up for that one. Have a fabulous day, everybody. We'll see you in the AM.